What's up guys, welcome back to On the Brick. Today I wanted to make a little bit of a shorter video after these last few weeks and talk to you about where I get my custom minifigures. Needless to say, these are all places that I have purchased from before and are all places that I would recommend. So let's get started. First off is a place I'm positive you have heard of, and if you are looking for clones, it is the place to go. Of course, I'm speaking of Clone Army Customs. They have been in the industry of custom making for as long as I can remember, and might even have been the first to do so, at least with Star Wars. I don't really know much outside of Star Wars. If you are looking to expand your clone army, then Clone Army Customs is the place to go, as they offer literally hundreds of different types of troopers. And that includes anything from your generic grunt to specific characters as well. They offer Phase 1 troopers, Phase 2 troopers, ARC troopers, ARF troopers, pilots, recon. They also offer different types of Mandalorians depending what you're looking for, and they even offer Admiral Thrawn if you want him. Along with that, you can always buy a random blind bag figure for $20 or even create your own if you're so inclined. All of these figures are custom printed and include custom helmets, and they come with weapons of your choice and any accessories of your desire. So when it comes to building your clone army, there is no better place, and I would highly recommend Clone Army Customs. Some figures of theirs that I have include Ahsoka troopers, Commanders Bly, Bakara, Hound, and a ton of Wolfpack figures. Another seller I want to bring up with a tiny bit of an asterisk is Minifigs For You. Personally, I have only bought their Commander Cody, and it's for the same reason that I bring up every time I bring up Minifigs For You. Nothing is ever in stock. At the time of making this video, he finally has stuff you can actually pre-order, so if you can find stuff, I would say go for it, but that probably won't happen as often as you might like. When it comes to Star Wars figures, but not necessarily clones, there's really only one place that I go, and that is BigKidBricks. His website could use a little bit of work, but his figures more than make up for it. Now, he does offer some clones, and for those of you who have been looking for a Phase 2 Commander Cody, he just put one out and it is available. But outside the few clones he has, he also does Mandalorians, Jedi, Sith, bounty hunters, just a wide variety of figures. But outside of the figures, he also just offers a really good service. His communication is faster than anyone else that I've ever bought from, and he has always shipped out faster than anyone else, usually doing so either the same day or the day after I make my purchase. On one occasion, I wanted to upgrade some minifigures that I had and bought the custom lightsabers that he makes, and he actually gave me extras as well. Because yeah, not only is this custom printed, this is also custom molded a lot of the time, comes with cloths and custom weapons. But he doesn't just focus on Star Wars. BigKidBricks also offers things from Marvel, DC, Game of Thrones, Star Trek, Harry Potter, Doctor Who, video games, musicians, and just a whole bunch of stuff. Most of his pricing is okay, and that's why I've continued to buy from him. Some of it is a little more expensive than I'm okay with. Like this Darth crate looks amazing, but I'm not really willing to spend $60 on it. Again though, that tends to be the exception with him, and most of his stuff is priced really well. He also has an eBay page that I would recommend checking out, since it has different inventory than what's on his website. Figures of his that I own include Commander Wolf, Darth Plagueis, 2 tubes, and some Jedi Temple guards. But along the lines of eBay sellers, I would highly recommend checking out Engineerio. Just like BigKidBricks, they don't focus exclusively on Star Wars and instead offer a variety of different figures. But when it comes to Star Wars, they also have a little bit of everything from clones to stormtroopers to Jedi to Sith to bounty hunters to Mandalorians to Boss Nass if you want him, and even the Death Star intern from when SNL tried to rehash the Matt the Radar tech skit. And their prices are pretty good. They're very similar to Clone Army Customs, but they're also not really doing any custom molds or cloth or weapons like BigKidBricks does. But I wouldn't really go to them if you're looking for clones. I'm not sure what it is about their Phase 2 helmets, but they just don't look the best to me. However, I do have their Commander Jet and a few Jedi, and I am happy with them. And the last place I'm going to talk about today is specifically for the world of decals, and that is with SW Fanatics or Star Wars Games Fanatics. While he does offer some printed figures, at the moment he really only has 2 options, and that's because, like I said, he really just focuses on decals, both in selling them individually for you to make your own and for making the figure for you. His decals range wildly in price from just a few dollars to up to $35 I've seen, and again guys, really these things do not go up in value. And the commission figures are generally more expensive than getting printed ones, but that's also because of the work that needs to go into them. So while I personally prefer and stick to printed figures, I will recommend SW Fanatics, and a big part of that is again because of his service. I'll be going more in depth in this in a video of its own one day, but I did make a recent order with him where just about everything went wrong, but his communication was great, usually responding within an hour of me messaging him. He actually noticed some of the problems before I did and offered to fix everything at no extra cost, even though some of the problems weren't actually even necessary to be fixed. So the only real downside with SW Fanatics is that because they are commission figures, they will usually take a few weeks up to a month to actually ship out to you. And that's going to be it for today, the 5 different places that I get my minifigures from, and I would recommend you do too. I'm not associated with any of these guys, by the way. None of them know I'm making this video. I just like the work they do and think it's worth it. So what are your thoughts on these 5 different sellers, or is there anyone else that you would recommend? I'm sure I've missed a ton of people, and especially if you know anyone who sells figures outside of the US, because I personally don't. If you liked what you saw or you like any of these sellers, please hit the like button down below. And to see more custom Lego, please consider hitting the subscribe button, as that really does help me out, and ring the bell so you know every time that I upload. Also, I do have instructions for a custom Bark speeder that is extremely accurate, but I am working on a minifig scale version that is slightly less accurate but more playable for those of you who would prefer that. Either way, thank you for watching. On Sunday I have another minifig showcase, so I will see you then.